championship match in the varsity division of the National Academic for 2025. I am David Madden, founder and executive director of International Academic Competitions. We've been doing Academic B for any number of years, going back to about 2015 in the middle and elementary school divisions. We began last year doing it in the varsity and junior varsity divisions as well. It is a very long day here in Arlington, Virginia, but this is how we can squeeze it all in. And I'm sure the 6 gentlemen on the stage with me are grateful that we're doing this tournament because they've made the finals and have a shot at a national title. On my left in order, we have Ethan Kroll from Northmont High School in Clayton, Ohio. Karthik Ambazagan. Karthik, your school again? Amador Valley out in California. We have Evan Schleck from Hunter College High School in New York City. Rajiv Pujara from Darien High School in Connecticut. Max Lynn from Eastchester High School in New York, and Pranav Krishna Paranadaran from Bella Vista High School in California. We've done the buzzer check. I'm ready to go. It's a packet of 35 questions, and the magic number to go out is 40. As always, we grade ties for all positions in a final here. As the awards say, national champion down through 6th place. I'm ready to go whenever we're good on the score sheet.
Working on it.
Okay, if it's more than 30 seconds, we're going to do it paper because it's been late enough. Okay. We do have a paper score sheet. Right. And we've got the scoreboard. So, Brina, if you don't mind, if you can maybe increase the font size on the players' names, just so it's a little bit easier to read. Fill up that box. Perfect. Great. Okay. We're going to get started one way or another. Good luck to all players, and off we go with toss-up 1. In 4-dimensional theories, these particles are described as dyons with 0 electric charge. Dirac strings would connect 2 of these particles, and grand unified theories claim these particles would not exist due to predicted topological defects. The fact that these particles do not exist implies the fact that a certain field has 0 divergence per Gauss's Gauss's law for magnetism for the points named these particles that could enable a magnet to act as just a north or south pole.
Magnetic monopoles?
Yes, good for 3 points to Evan. Okay. And Brandon, if you can also keep the scores, larger font. Good. Toss-up 2. This artist unsuccessfully experimented with found objects for the circus-themed exhibition, The Clown as the Center of His World. The Black Zag series by this artist used Formica, though this artist is more closely associated with the material used for the sculpture series Dream Houses. The known work of this artist consists of 60 compartments made of prefabricated wooden boxes and is painted entirely black. For the points, identify the sculptor of large wall pieces such as Sky Cathedral. Time, can't say I've heard of her either. This is Louise Nevelson. Toss-up 3. Artifacts from a journey by this person have been discovered on Mogador Island near Estuera. One periplus attributed to this person includes a description of a mountain speculated to be Mount Cameroon, where this person discovered an island. Hanno, yes, 6 points. Good buzz. Over to Karthik. Toss 4. These organelles function by creating osmotic pressure from moving calcium ions into the cytoplasm and filling the cell with water. These organelles can only be activated once, at which point they release a small arc lined with neurotoxins. The activation of these organelles is coordinated by neurons and battery cells in hydrozoans, such as the Portuguese man-of-war, and immunity to these organelles evolved in clownfish. For the points, name these stinging organelles found within cnidarian cnidocyte cells. Name 1. Time, these are nematocysts. Toss 5. This author's admiration for Friedrich Nietzsche likely influenced the mention of an abyss of darkness in a set of spiritual exercises titled The Saviors of God. This author wrote 2 children's novels, Alexander the Great and At the Palaces of Knossos. This author imagined Mary Magdalene as the wife of the title character.
Kazantzakis.
Is good for 5 points to him. Toss-up 6. The Shark Island concentration camp was built during this event.
The Harari genocide.
6 points over to Max. Toss 7. In the essay, Where Am I?, this thinker discussed the problem of identity with a version of the brain in a back thought experiment. That essay was included in this thinker's multidisciplinary book, Brainstorms. In another book, this thinker proposed the multiple drafts model of the title concept, and this thinker referred to evolution by natural selection as a universal acid that would eventually affect all fields. For the point, identify this recently deceased philosopher who wrote Consciousness Explained and Darwin's Dangerous Idea. Dennett is correct for 3 points over to Rajiv. Toss 8. One novel title for this substance ends as a character with 3 moles on his side tells the protagonist.
Snow.
6 points over to Rajiv. Toss 9. After the death of Etienne du Castel, this author became a protege of Queen Isabeau of Bavaria. This author's work, Le Vie de la Rose, was written in response to a popular misogynistic romance poem of the day. This author created an imaginary location built by and for women in the 14th.
Christine de Pizan.
Is correct for 5 points. To Evan again. Toss-up 10. An intruder state can arise when using this technique, and an expansion of the time evolution operator in the interaction picture via this technique creates the Dyson series. In this technique, an initial time-independent value adds the quantity lambda times a Hermitian operator, and in one context, this technique considers a 0th order equation arising from the expansion of the Schrödinger equation. For the points, identify this technique that continuously corrects an approximate solution, such as by adding terms to find the Hamiltonian. Time, this is perturbation. Page 11. Scores correspond with the page and the screen. Players, all good? Okay, all right, cost 11. The NBC Opera Theater presented an opera by this composer centering on Sam and Dinah entitled the fictional film Trouble in Tahiti. In an operetta by this composer, a character sings, "We're neither pure nor wise nor good," in the aria, "Make Our Garden Grow."
Bernstein?
Bernstein is good for 5 points, yes, over to Karthik. Cost 12. Frederick Law Olmsted was the first executive secretary of this organization, which was modeled on.
The U.S. Sanitary Commission?
Yes, 6 points over to Max on that. 13. By studying a thin film of this compound, HP Labs announced experimental evidence for the memory store. Photocatalytic properties of this compound are the subject of the Honda-Fukushima effect. Materials with a high content of this compound can be created from ilmenite in the Becher process, and the production of pure forms of this compound is the goal of the chloride process. For the points, identify this mineral with a high refractive index that occurs most commonly and in its most stable form as rustile. Time, this is titanium dioxide. 14. In one work, this poet instructs the ignorant Perses on how to run a farm and recounts. 6 again, good. Toss at 15. Pope Pius XV considered banning cardinals from playing this game because of its popularity, and Plinio de Signori criticized this game for being cut off from the world. The Magister Ludis, the highest ranked player,
The Class B game.
is correct for 5. Toss at 16. Scores check. All good? Yep. Remember the magic number is 40. The phrase for this initiative was first used in a speech at Ohio University, and this initiative is often viewed as an evolution of the new frontier. Thomas Sowell argued. Is good for 6, yes, Karthik. Toss it. 17. This leader issued the Casti Connubii, which forbade contraception. Eugenio Pacelli represented this leader while negotiating a treaty with Franz von Papen, and this leader wrote a text called Mit brennender Sorge, which called out the myth of race and blood and violations of the Reichskonkordat. The Roman question was resolved under this leader, who served as the first sovereign of Vatican City after negotiating the Lateran Treaty with Benito Mussolini. No, name 2. For the points, name this pope who served from 1922 to 1939.
Pius the 10th.
Name 1. Time. It was Pius XI. Toss 18. The centrosymmetry of these structures is classified as either gerade or ungerade. Frontier examples of these structures include the LUMO, which is formed from a linear combination of the similar counterparts of these structures using the LCAO method. The high-energy anti-bonding types of these structures can be labeled as either pi star or sigma star on their namesake diagrams. For the points, name these regions of probability density for a negative particle surrounding bonded.
Electron orbitals?
Say it again?
Like orbitals? Electron orbitals?
No, neg 2. Surrounding bonded atoms.
Electron cloud?
Neg 1. Time. Specifically, we wanted molecular orbitals. Cost 19. This composer died in the midst of writing the opera Lucrezia, which was completed posthumously by Elsa Olivieri San Giacomo. This composer's violin sonata in B minor was premiered in Naples by violinist Enrico Serato, and this composer arranged works by Gioacchino Rossini in Le Boutique Fantasque for the Ballet Russe. A trio of works by this composer describes the festivals and fountains of ancient. Yes, for 2 Karthik. Pines of the Room, Fountains of the Room. 20. This person is thought to be the primary author of the Judiciary Act of 1789, which established the federal court system in the position of Attorney General. As Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, this person is identified with efforts to end the practice of seriatim, in which each justice wrote an individual opinion on every case. With William Vans Murray and William Richardson Davey, this man signed the Convention of 1800 to end the quasi-war with France.
J.
Neg 2. For the points, identify this framer of the U.S. Constitution from Connecticut.
Ellsworth.
Is good for 3 points to Ethan. Okay, that's 20. Scores correspond.
Yeah.
Okay. Clear? Yeah. Okay. Possible 21. Due to low exponent values, this algorithm is vulnerable to Coppersmith's attack as well as Wiener's attack. This algorithm, which can avoid attacks by using random padding values, involves calculating the product of 2 large prime numbers.
RSA.
RSA is good for 5 points over to Max. To 22. The second deadliest Ebola outbreak occurred in this region in 2018. Dr. Denis Mukwege was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 2018 for working in this region to treat victims of sexual violence. The March 23 movement.
Okay, like Eastern Congo, Ituri Forest.
No,
Okay.
Big 2.
North Kivu.
Kivu is what we need to guess. For 6 points, still over to Max. 23. Values measured from a form of this effect relate anisotropic and isotropic components of a tensor and appear in the graph as a semicircle. In ionized gases, this effect is associated with a parameter equal to the product of magnetic field and elementary charge divided by electron mass and electron-heavy particle collision frequency. In this effect, electric current flowing through a magnetic field causes charge to build up on one side of a conductor. For the points, identify this electromagnetic effect that creates a voltage difference. Time, this is the Hall effect, is considered the founder of this school of thought, which was involved in the Methodenstreit dispute with the German Historical School of Economics. For the points, identify this individualist school effect.
Austrian.
Is good for 4 points. Rajiv, 25 and check the scores. This author used photos taken by the Farm Security Administration during the Great Depression for the work 12 Million Black Voices. This author's essay, The Ethics of Living Jim Crow, is included in the collection Uncle Tom's Children.
James Baldwin.
No, Big 2. In a novel by this author, a chauffeur is defended by the communist lawyer Forrest Max after he kills his...
Right.
Right is right for 5 points to Rajiv. Okay, let's check the scores. Plot thickens. Everything looks good? Oh, good. Okay. 10 to go. Right. Close. Number 26. This emperor wrote the satirical essay Misopogon, which attacked beards. This emperor's attempts to rebuild the Jewish temple in Jerusalem were thwarted by a pair of earthquakes. This emperor was killed by a spear under mysterious circumstances.
Julian.
Julian is good for 6, yes, to Karthik. 27. This practice is named after the person who began applying it in the 1929 film Showboat, and in the same year vocalized the first Tarzan yell. This practice can enhance the effect of on-ground or air.
Is it like the Wilhelm scream?
No, Big 2. can enhance the effect of on-ground or air traffic during field reporting using objects such as thunder sheets. And this practice often involves replicating common occurrences such as broken glass.
Okay, like being a Foley artist, creating sounds for a film, like creating sound effects.
That I will take that because you said the magic word, which was Foley.
Okay.
Yes, so that is good for 4 points to Evan. 28. Two central characters in this novel hold off an attack during the siege of the Roundhouse. A character known as the Red Fox befriends the protagonist.
The Little Prince.
No, Nick, two. Befriends the protagonist of this novel in Appin before being killed by a sniper. A real-life event inspired the killing of Colin Roy Campbell in this novel, and another historical character in this novel, Alan Breck Stewart, is a Jacobite soldier from Scotland. For the points, identified as Robert Louis Stevenson novel about the abduction of David Balfour.
Kidnapped.
Good for 3. 29. This field was combined with graphology by Belgian education theorist Paul Bauss to create the field of psychognomy. Italian criminologist Cesare Lombroso was influenced by this field and put forth the claim that criminals could be identified preemptively through atavistic traits measured with tools such as calipers. For the points, name this.
Like phrenology?
Yes, for 4. Evan. Into the lead with 30. On to question 30. This city's northern coastline is situated on Tarot Bay, and this city's economy is reliant on the nearby Gawar field. This city forms an urban area with Kobar. No, Nick, two. With Kobar and Dawan, the latter of which contains the headquarters of the Ramco. This city is served by the world's largest airport by land area.
Jeddah?
No, Nick, two. Land area, the King Fahd International Airport, and this city, which serves as the capital of Eastern Province, is the largest port on the Persian Gulf outside of the UAE.
Tamam.
Is correct for 5 points, just getting it in to come off. All right, with 5 to go. Scores correspond? Okay, well, between Max, Evan, and Karthik, really anyone's match. Nobody mathematically out of it, though. As we go to 31. It's not a type of tree, but one form of this plant species in California was declared the world's largest blossoming plant in 1990 and now spans an acre and weighs 250 tons. This plant species with poisonous seeds, with poisonous seeds has a floribunda variety that twines clockwise, and this non-pea plant species also has a sinensis variety that twines counterclockwise. Glycine is another name given to, for the points, what flowering vine that is native to East Asia and has white to light purple hanging blossoms. Time, this is wisteria. Oh, that is 32. This mathematician used a sexagesimal algorithm for division and authored a commentary on Apollonius of Perga's work on conic sections. This mathematician edited Book 3 of Ptolemy's Almagest, and this mathematician improved methods of long division used in astronomy. Following rumors that the relationship between Orestes and Cyril,
Eratosthenes?
No, Orestes and Cyril had been sabotaged. This mathematician was killed by a group led by a lector named Peter. For the points, Nick 2, for the points, identify this mathematician from Alexandria who was murdered by a Christian mob. That's Neg 1. This is Hypatia. Hypatia, Alexandria. Okay, 3 questions to go. Consider your strategies. Toss 33. During a feud, this philosopher called an economist the Ariel Sharon of higher education. A dispute with Larry Summers caused this philosopher to leave for Princeton after a tenure at Harvard. This philosopher, who collaborated with Henry Louis Gates Jr. on the books The African American Century and the Future of the Race, selected Melina Abdullah as a running mate for a campaign in the 2020.
Cornel West?
Is correct for 5 points to Evan. Vaulting him well into the lead with 2 to go. 34. While in Florence, this artist often signed paintings with the surname Lomi, much like this artist's father, Orazio. This artist, Gentileschi, is correct for 6 points to Rajiv. 35. Consider your scores before the final toss-up. One of the sons of this figure became the namesake of the Illyrians. In a work by Euripides, a prophecy given to this figure claimed he and his wife would turn into snakes. Concordia is the Roman.
Cadmus.
Cadmus is correct. For 6 points, indeed, to Max on that last one. There are no ties, and that is that group. Okay, so Pranav and Ethan, your day is not yet done. It keeps on going. Okay, obviously, first correct answer wins. Remember, in per IAC tiebreak procedures, there are no names in tiebreaks. Okay, we need a correct answer from one of you until we get one right. Okay. Okay, just to Ethan and Pranav for 5th place at stake. Good luck to both of you. With Richard Nixon, this person reached an agreement called the Treaty of 5th Avenue to moderate the 1960 Republican Party platform. This person led a faction of Republicans that were known for their liberal views, sometimes called the Eastern Establishment. This person was governor of New York throughout the 1960s, and this politician was Nelson Rockefeller. Is correct, and I hope we all die like him. Congratulations. All right, let's do the awards. No one come up on stage and help me out. What's the time? 11:10. A little better than last year. Yeah, no, we're getting there. We're getting there. Okay, 6th place. Congratulations. Goes to Pranav Krishnan. Yes, congratulations. Good job. 5th place going to Ethan Kroll from Northmont. Okay, 4th place going to Rajiv Pujara from Congratulations. Around, quick photo. Oh, here. Good job. 3rd place going to Karthik Amazaran from Amador Valley. All right, good job. 2nd place going to Maximum Lovely. And your national champion, Evan Schleck from Hunter. Put it on your mantelpiece if you have a mantle in your house.
Now we're all taking photos.
All right. Congratulations, all players. And 8 o'clock for History Beat. We keep you moving. Good luck.
Done.